And back behind those horses, I Am Unstoppable. Osmosis at the clock tower, led by a length to Shinzo, Arkansas Kid, and I Am Unstoppable is running on. The leader, Osmosis, with 50 metres to go. Osmosis is clear and will take it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Quaddie Poddy. Cashy, joined by Nick. How are you, my friend?
Good, man. It was a good week of racing last week, and we're back for some more. Loving it. Doing well, mate. How you going?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. We Everest Day. We never punt really well on Everest Day at the track. We usually have to rely on other tracks to get it done, and that's what we did at Caulfield on the weekend. We picked up some winners, some shorter than others. No prizes for some of them. Like, everyone knew that Private Eye and Tentyrus were winning. Tentyrus made us sweat. Private Eye didn't. But a couple winners at Randwick for Everest Day. Kerguelen in the last. And then, of course, Cashy and Rising. Again, wasn't a genius for us to pick Cashy and Rising. But let's just talk about it. Like, what a day, what a race. What were your thoughts on the day as a whole and then the race as a whole?
Yeah, we went out with a couple of mates. It's good. It's hard, man, because it's so packed, and it's I think we waited 45 minutes in line. I'm gonna say this now. If anyone at the ATC is listening to this, I don't know who you're hiring behind the bar, but we were at the owners bar and in the members. Is it the owners bar? I'm pretty sure it's
where
it's
is
called.
That's what I'll tell you.
Where we tried to go up those stairs at when the grandstand was shut.
Oh yeah.
I think it's called the owners bar.
Yeah, honestly not sure what it's called, but yeah, let's go with owners bar.
So I was waiting there, and I kid you not, there was 4 people behind the bar, and they were all serving one person. All of them serving one person. One person was pressing the buttons on the cash machine. One person was handing the glasses to another person. One person was pouring the beers, and it would go back in a line. One person was getting served at a time. I couldn't believe it, bro. I was losing it. I waited 45 minutes for 4 beers. It's ridiculous. If anyone at the ATC or knows anyone, tell them to sort it out, because it's not that hard. It is not that hard.
It is your biggest gripe with Everest Day every single year.
And then I ordered 4 Carlton Dries, and to be fair to this guy, he had no idea what was going on, and then the tap just went out, and he's just, I kid you not, standing there looking at the tap, trying it every 30 seconds, thinking it would just go back on. I'm like, mate, just give me a different beer. Just give me any other beer. Any other beer. I'm done. And it took him 10 minutes to pour my beers, and then I got my beers, and I said to my mates, we're not fucking coming back to this bar. I'm done. So sort that out, please. Honestly, but it's tough because it's supposed to be such a great day, but it's just too packed. We were in members, luckily, so we probably avoided a lot of the actual crowd, but that was the busiest I've seen members for sure. We weren't allowed up in the grandstand for the Everest because it was at capacity. We got to watch it just behind the owner section, so we did have a good view of it. But yeah, it was overall. It's always an overrated day in my opinion.
It's because this year what they did very smartly, because they are desperate for young people to sign up and be members. Because I don't remember them doing it any other year. They just go, oh yeah, we're sold out. Like, unfortunately you were too late. Just buy the tickets earlier next year. They actually pointed out, hey, you can still get in if you sign up to be a member.
Yeah.
They had an entire tent dedicated to all these new members that were rocking up just so they could get in, had all of their, passes and little packages out neatly. I went up because I just ordered a new hard pass and I had to go collect it. I told them, forget about the rest of the envelope, just give me the pass. Like, I'm not a new member. And they did so. Thank you for that service. But I looked at it, I was just eyeballing it. I would have seen at least over 100 packages there. So that's at least 100 new members, potentially all bringing 2 of their friends like they were allowed to. So that's an extra 300 people in the members section that, wasn't there for the last few years. But, I love it. It's a good day. Do they need to fix some processes? Yes, I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that ever since we went when it was COVID and there was only 10,000 of us. said, man, do they need some renovations?
10,000 felt packed that day.
Yeah.
It did. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people did that in the end in buying members, and they were pretty smart in that way, because I know a couple of our mates, one of them would buy the membership and then use the 2 complimentary passes and split it 3 ways. So they were only really paying $100 for a ticket each.
Yeah,
and
very
then they
smart.
can go to every race pretty much for the rest of the year
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they want to go to.
It's very smart. Like, the membership is actually worth it when you break it down. Like, each big day is anywhere from, like, if you buy at the last minute, anywhere from $60, sometimes $80 for GA. Like, members, forget about it. It's like $200 a ticket.
Yeah.
So, like, you buy the membership, you go to, like, if you go to the races 4 or 5 times out of the year, especially if you're going during carnival time, you've paid it off.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, but they do need to fix it. I love the ATC. Should definitely sponsor us. But
Yeah, shout out to them.
should definitely sponsor us, ATC. But I have always said, and I won't back down in that argument. That's an argument that a hill I'm willing to die on, as the old saying goes. They need to get the parties on the infield, as they're finally starting to discuss potentially doing.
Under lights, potentially.
And
I see that
under lights as
discussing,
well.
which
That'd
would
be
really
unreal.
cool.
Yeah, get the party on the infield, get the racing on the trackside. And I reckon you'd be able to do so much with that on the infield. You'd be able to get a big concert stage for a big artist. Like, Melbourne's getting Fisher playing on the track. There's no reason that the ATC can't do that, especially if it's under lights. Can you imagine big, massive party on the infield? Like, people have been just sinking piss all day, betting all day, being there to be seen all day, posting their Instagram, watching on the big screens, the big races. Then all of a sudden, Everest, last race of the night, goes through, big fireworks, woohoo, let's go cash our tickets. And then this massive concert stage that's been set up all day fires up, whoever it is, Fisher, Fred again, Beyonce, whoever the hell you get to play. And then everyone rushes from the trackside over to the infield, and it's just one massive, like, festival for the night. Like,
Yeah, that's one thing I think Melbourne, not even just the racing industry, they just set up their
for entertainment
so much better down in Melbourne compared to Sydney. Like, you won't see Fisher play in Sydney for after a race. It's just it's such a Melbourne thing, and everyone goes, yeah, that's such a Melbourne
so
thing.
numb.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, it's just one of those things, you know what I mean, that they always seem to get. There's not really many big, like, DJs that are coming out of Sydney, really. I know Fisher's not out of Melbourne, but they've got, like,
It's more the Melbourne scene. Yeah.
Dom Dollar. You've got, like, all those kind of people that are linked in with Melbourne and stuff, and there's all those connections. Pete Volandes would have no connections in
Nathan
terms
Dorr,
of...
man. Come on, bro.
But no one's going to stay back and do that. Like, you know what I mean? So...
Well, I feel like there is an opportunity there. Obviously, we want people there for the races, but, like, if there's money to be made, get an act that people are also going to see after the races. No one was going to see Nathan Dorr. They were going for the races, and then, hey, Nathan Dorr's playing, let's stick around. You know what I mean? But back in the day when they had Jason Derulo, I'm sure they sold a few tickets for people going to see Jason Derulo, you know? But
like,
semantics.
Fisher will be getting tickets just to see Fisher for sure.
100%.
So.
But I mean, neither here nor there. Let's talk about the race itself, mate. Kaying Rising did it with ease, as honestly I expected him to do. He was vulnerable, yes, but, like, like I said, he's 80% is better than half the field. And whether he was 100% or 80% didn't matter. He just did it with ease, jogged at the end, and it is unbelievable that he got out to $2. $2.20 in some bookmakers. It was nuts.
Yeah, for sure. At trackside for us, I know the tote was obviously very, very short, but for the actual on bookies at the course, they were all paying $2, and even on tab it was all bookies pretty much were all paying $2.
Yeah, the tote came in as expected, but the fixed odds just drifted right.
Yeah, for sure. So luckily I put a little bit of money on Kaying just in case, because I had obviously just before your rumours came out.
Oh yeah, my rumours. I started it.
But yeah, it was a good race. Overpass was scaring me for a little bit.
Yeah, ran really well.
Yeah, for sure. Jetta Build doesn't beat 3 homes. So you're lucky you don't.
Whiskers between them. Whiskers. Shout out Lockie Sheridan. He texted me. He's like, man, you are lucky.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely whiskers between me and wearing the silks on Golden Eagle Day.
But I thought Kaying just handled it the best, got to the best position and best horse on the day for sure. I think Angel Capital ran home really strong.
Huge run. Get it to a Golden Eagle immediately.
For sure, Golden Eagle chance for sure.
Apparently, it's not running in that.
Oh, okay.
I think it really should be, but I mean, I'm not Chris Waller. C4 Stakes instead, but I really hope they go to the Golden Eagle instead.
Yeah. And then you've got Tempted, obviously running a good second.
Way better than I thought it was going.
No, for sure. I didn't think it would get that close either. That horse is only going to get better with time as well, so that's very exciting. Jolly Star and Lady Shenandoah are probably a bit of a letdown. Jolly Star in particular.
Jolly Star just another one that just like last year, just could not handle the pressure of the race, I think.
Yeah, like you heard J-Mac after the race come out and say at 500, thought Jolly Star was going to win the race in the perfect spot and then just didn't handle the last 400 metres. So interesting for that one. I know we spoke about potentially a fraud watch for Jolly Star. I think we're sticking...
every time she gets to the Everest, she just falls flat on her face.
Yeah, I think we're sticking away from it. But yeah, she was pretty disappointing. War Machine was disappointing.
Yeah, I admit I got that wrong as the best chance to knock him off. Just, I think probably that's the telltale sign, not a sprinter.
But yeah, other than that, good race. If you got any first fours or any trifecta plays, good payout in the end. I know a couple of our mates had some mysteries on that one. So Jacob had a mystery and he won.
Did his mystery trifecta win?
Yeah.
Because I
he had $5 on it and it was paying 60 to 1 or
lucky
something.
Lucky man. Mine gave me Ka Ying, Marzu and Overpass, and I was like, well, that's dead in the water. But yeah, no, it was just really, really good. The spectacle, just short price favourite wins. Someone stopped me that recognised me, and I really appreciate anyone that stopped either of us. Awesome to see you guys down the track. It's awesome to see the community we're building. But like, he put it pretty plainly, and I agree with him. He's like, "Did you see what price it got out to?" I was like, "Yeah." Did you get on it? He goes, "Yeah, I put thousands on it." And like, tell you what, my asshole clenched a little bit because I'm not a big bettor. But he goes, "Trust me though, like I'm not a big bettor either. But like, if someone told you here's black caviar at $2, what are you gonna do?" And I was like, you know what, fair. Because, like, I said to you, like, with about, like, $100, I was like, should we? And you're like, dude, like, is he losing? Like, no. Like, get on it.
Yeah. Obviously, hindsight, we had a lot of money, me and a couple mates, Apocalyptic into Ka Ying. Apocalyptic, which we'll talk about a bit later. I know, fan favourite for us. But, yeah, disappointing. But, yeah, a couple hundred into that because we wanted to get a bit more odds and... was let down in the end, but overall a positive day. But yeah, good win for old mate.
I was actually really happy in the end because I tried to put the Apocalyptic Ka Ying Rising multi on, but I put it on wrong on the tab machine, and I just put an extra $50 on Ka Ying Rising, so I got the payout. And then I put it all on Maidan each way, and then that wasn't as happy viewing as we'll touch on in a second. But they say if he's in form, they'll bring him back. So Everest is over for 2026. We know who's winning next year if he's in tip-top shape. But again, if he's in 70% shape, he'll be winning.
For sure. And I don't think you'll see him at that price. He'll be into that price that we expected him, at least $1.60, unless Tempted gets even better, I guess. That's the only real one I can see challenging. Jolly Star's a year older. Not going to be there kind of thing. So we'll wait and see, I guess. But
it's already like you're never seeing 13s or 11s again like some other people. You're getting 225 already. I mean, I whacked on at 3s as I was like, wait, they would have opened the market. I'll get on just in case he comes again. And then I see a tweet later saying, yeah, we're coming. So now I got, I think, $3 or $3.30 and it was straight into $2.20. Like, I'll take that. I know that's going to be overs. It'll be $1.60, if not shorter.
Money back if it doesn't get
money
there.
back if it doesn't come. So, I mean, if you want to get on Ka Ying Rising, like, now's the time to do it. He's only ever going to get shorter.
For sure.
He's not coming out unless he, like, you know, puts a poor run in Hong Kong, which, I mean, could happen, but you'd think that the market still won't try and let him get too wide because you know that he's just better than what we've got here. Let's just touch on Caulfield. So let's touch on that Apocalyptic race, mate.
Yeah, so Caulfield Day, I was happy with... I'll start off with Ray Magnerio. That helped. $8 winner.
Did.
Bit of money on that, which
especially
really
after
helped.
For the first time ever, you didn't tip Spicy Lou and it got up.
Yeah, so. I know. That pissed me off. But yeah, I was happy with Ray Mag at $8, and I know a couple mates were spewing because they were talking about it for the last couple of weeks, and then I had a mate at golf today actually tell me that they said with Ray Magnerio, some of the train I can't remember who trains it, but said if you see Ray Mag on a 1 week turnaround, it's usually a pretty good sign. So keep that in mind in the future, punters. But yeah, that started off nicely. Apocalyptic, very disappointing. Had every chance to win. Probably should have won, and just
I think we'll be hearing from the owner to see his thoughts on the race and probably what they were told post-race. I'm just going to guess it's something that he's told me that they don't like it to lead. So the fact that Mark took it to the lead maybe was the wrong thing. I don't know. We'll find out soon enough when we get to the hotline because I know he's called in.
yeah.
But yeah, disappointing, but I mean, still good enough run. It's not like it lost by a mile. It, got nabbed just in the last, 50 or so metres. And then Caulfield Cup, half yours. Said it had no chance. It won. Whoop-de-doo. Like, I'm an idiot. Abuse me all you want. I mean, you can't get them all right. Like, I'm happy to admit that I was wrong. Jamie Mellon, first female to win the Caulfield Cup. Unreal. Now a live chance in the Melbourne Cup. But, what did you think of the race?
I was lucky I had a bit of extra money. I was on my way home at this point because I had other plans in the night. And I put 35 on half yours, so not too much at
nice.
260. So it helped out, and then Kiguelan and linebacker helped even more as well, which I had personal bets on. And then Pike in the last. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well.
In the last.
But yeah, Vaughan was disappointing as well.
Cost us a lot of money on a multi. All of your horses placed apart from Vaughan.
Yeah, so that was annoying, but half yours just looked awesome, and for right reason. I know a lot of people rate it very highly, and that's why. Didn't look like he was going to lose the race at all.
Yeah, just travelled into it really nicely and then just put them away. Like, again, couldn't have gotten them all wrong, but fair enough. You can't get them all right. Maidan, my tip. How in the world do you end up 3 wide no cover from barrier 5 in an 18-horse field, especially after he jumped clean and pushed up on pace and then ends up 7 pairs back, 3 wide no cover? That was just bizarre. But when he balanced up and started closing off really nicely, so get him to Flemington. I'm not totally against jumping off him for the Melbourne Cup. He might end up being my top tip. Another one of my top tips, I'm really liking Gilded Water for the Melbourne Cup. It was meant to be in the Geelong Cup today. That got cancelled because of wind. Going to the Moonee Valley. Gold Cup on Friday night. We all know that produced my tip last year with Akuta Sushi. So if it wins and gets in the field, I wouldn't mind getting around a bit of Gilded Water. But yeah, Maidan, not disgraced at all from that run. Presage Nocturne, fantastic. Another one, just get him to Flemington. Closed off really, really well. And Valiant King, again, just keeps out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of absolutely nowhere. Just keeps on kicking.
I guess it just shows you it's not even Melbourne, the Cup race, but how open that Melbourne Cup's going to be and how much value there is. And another roughie's probably going to win it or get close at least, and the exotic's going to pay outstanding amounts.
I know. So now that Sir Delius has come out and that whole hullabaloo, scratched from the Melbourne Cup, scratched from the Cox Plate, was maybe going to run in Sydney, but then they decided against it because even though technically they're allowed to, it would be just a PR nightmare if it actually did get really injured going around in Sydney. But I mean, disappointing. But I'm actually a fan of the scans and taking out these horses. Yes, it stops a lot of internationals coming. Yes, it's taken out the favourite like 3 years running now. Luckily, I haven't been stung with it. That's why I tell you, never bet futures on the Melbourne Cup. Your horse could be taken out at any point. Okay? A lot of water has to go under the bridge for your horse to get to the Melbourne Cup, let alone backing it 6 months out. I appreciate that you want to get the winner at $100 and then at bowl 10 at 5, but just don't do it. You're asking for money to be lost. Luckily, this time they were like, okay, fair enough. We'll avoid your bets. Usually they're not that nice. So stick away from Melbourne Cup futures betting. This should be your lesson. But I mean, at the end of the day, have we had a death since these have come in? No, and that's good for racing.
No, for sure. Gives the activists one less thing to talk about.
Exactly.
King Charles, mate, we'll talk about that quickly.
Jeez, Mr. Brightside. What a horse.
Yeah.
We always say he's going to slow down, and he just doesn't. He just doesn't. He just keeps kicking along. Should have won the race if it wasn't for Chia Wolf, who, I mean, let's touch on it.
Get him off.
He was on the fraud board. He was on fraud watch, and not only was he on fraud watch, we crossed him out. He was officially a fraud, and then all of a sudden, he's back to being a Group 1 winner 2 times in a row.
King Charles.
Charles. So, I mean, let's get him off. Let's just... Sorry about that, Chair Wolf. We were heavily doubting you.
I think it's great for the sport as well to see... I was speaking to you about this before the show, mate, but horses are just like any athletes that can be out of form and not running well. Like, Chia Wolf was losing to some shit horses.
Oh, yeah. Doing shit all against shit horses as well.
And then has come back and won nicely. Very, very happy to see, and it's great. It shows you can be out of form and you can just bounce straight back and win a big race. So
good for Chad Schofield as well. A lot of hate on Chad Schofield over the last couple of months because of those Chia Wolf rides.
Yep.
And just silences them all in one day.
Nah, it's good.
So what do we do here? Do I cross off Vaughan and then hopefully he comes out and wins a Melbourne Cup for all the punters that constantly back him?
Yeah, let's go that. We'll do that.
All right, Vaughan, you are officially doing nothing. Get to the Warrnambool jumps, mate, and win the Melbourne Cup for us now that we've crossed you out.
And Treasure, you're on watch for this week.
Yes, Treasure gets a chance to come off. Gringotts is still on there. Oak Hill is still on there. But I think Oak Hill's gone away for the spring, so it doesn't get a chance to really get off there. And put your suggestions out there on social media. Who needs to be on fraud watch headed into the final few weeks of the Spring Carnival? There are plenty of candidates, but we need to be whacking some more names on there now that we've started to cross a few off. All right, let's head to the hotline.
Yep, let's get straight into it, mate.
All right, we got a few that caught up this week. Let's just get it out of the way. Apocalyptic. Let's hear the man himself.
Where do I even start, man? Look, I think Ole Dancer was the better horse on the day and deserved the win, so fair enough for that. Blake Shin did everything right, and they won because they were better. But, Mark Zara, what in the flying fuck were you doing? What the fuck were you thinking? Michael Freeman pre-race goes, oh, she likes to have cover. She likes to run off the back of a horse. So what does he do? Yeah, let's take her to the lead. Like, you won many races in your life around the world. And you're doing that shit. Are we being fucking for real, bro? I never want to see you jockey one of my horses again. Never. Fuck this guy. Give me Tommy Berry. Fuck Mark Zara. Fuck you, Mark Zara. Fuck you, Mark Zara.
Okay, relax.
Where
Oh
do
my
I
God. If Mark Zara is listening, we do not advocate for that at all. Corey.
It's just a listener. We let the people speak.
Oh my God. That was... Oh, Jesus.
I love that. I love it.
I love the passion, but God almighty.
Never stop doing that. Cashy hates it, but I love it.
Oh my God. Well, I think that's all that's been needing to be said on that.
Did you end that early? Or is that
No, he might have said fuck Mark Zara 2 more times. All right, Lockie Howard.
Hey boys, hope you're well. This probably won't be much talked about. I feel like no one's really talked about this horse, Valiant King. Ever since he won that race a couple of weeks ago on the 2600, I think it was, and he won really well at good odds. I thought he was outstanding on the weekend as well in the Caulfield Cup, coming from second last to run third, through some traffic as well. He's got to be a big Melbourne Cup chance now. If you boys agree with that, let me know, because I think he's one of the top contenders for the Melbourne Cup after his 2 runs this prep.
I mean, we spoke about it, yeah. He, out of nowhere, is all of a sudden from obscurity to one of the top local chances for the Melbourne Cup. After coming and running in last year's, not really doing a lot, and then all of a sudden, he's one of the top seeds.
Yeah, like I said before, it's just going to show how open how everything's going to go in this cup.
Yes, let's go to Matt Gifford, sorry.
What's going on, boys? Giffo here, first time caller, long time listener.
Hell yeah.
How good was the Everest last weekend? So many winners, so much money that was made for everyone, I'm sure. The Everest Cargying Rising never looked like getting beat. And, linebacker as well, plenty of winners. But I want to ask Cashy, after you declared half yours was a pretender in the
Christ.
Caulfield Cup, I decided to load on it. So I'm very thankful for that and just wanted to ask, have you got any pretenders that you want to declare this weekend in the Cox Plate? Please say treasure the moment and I will load my life savings on it. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. A few people were saying that, like, fuck, I make so much money off backing what this guy says not to back and laying what he says is his best bet. Oh, well, the game's the game, as they say. Jake.
Hey boys, it's Jakey again. It's apocalyptic, eh? Bit of pressure, it's gone. I know that one bloke, I forget his name, rings up. I'm sure we'll hear from him again. I'm sure it's the
We
leader of
heard
the
from
horse,
him.
mate. It was brave in defeat, so, we'll love to see where that horse goes. But back to the Cox Plate, the big one. Oh, I'm tempted with Treasure the Moment, but I know it hasn't been the same horse, but if it just runs to its absolute best and wins, we could look back on it and be like, how was it paying $7.50? So, I don't know, but I'm leaning that way, but I'll listen to you guys, of course. Cheers, boys. Cheers.
Well, we're going to chat about it. Treasure, I know you certainly have an affection for Treasure, and it'll be in your numbers. I don't know if it's your top tip, but I know that you'll be definitely saying contender. I'm still not. I'm on the fence. I'll decide in a bit when we go through it. But so far, a few people leaning the way of Treasure. So Johnny.
Good day, boys. Johnny Cash here. Just a quick question. Prior to Jenny, I laid a lot of money on that horse on the weekend and didn't run up to its absolute best. Was there excuses in the run? Jockey's fault. I'd love to hear your opinion on what went wrong with that horse. But yeah.
I mean, I don't think it was jockey's fault or anything like that. I just think it just got outran by better horses. I just don't.
Doesn't suit the track to Randwick very well. It's
like now that horses know what to do with it. Like the only other time we really saw a massive success for this horse at Randwick was when jockeys were completely asleep at the wheel. Now that jockeys know to pressure it, like I think she's just not that guy anymore, if you know what I mean. Like she was that guy for that like 4-month period where like nobody knew what to do, as she would just take off and do whatever she wanted. They finally figured out like, oh, you just challenge her and she'll fold pretty quickly. Like I just think that's the only way you can beat that horse. Like if it's a large field, obviously in a small field, like you got the Moonee Valley first up, like she's able to do that because who's going to challenge her in like a 4-horse field? But in a big field like that, all you got to do is just give her a bit of pressure and she's going to fold. Like, so.
She's getting old.
That as well. And Troy, to finish us off.
Hey boys, hope you're well. Troy here, first time caller, long time listener.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's hotter in Sydney today.
It
37
is.
degrees towards the city. Kerguelen last week at Randwick.
Huge.
Got on a good odds, $6 I think. But my question for the week is Steffi Magnetica in the Group 2 invitation. What do you reckon? Around $7.50 to win. Seems to be a good field, I'd say. But a Group 1 mare, second up. Keen to know your thoughts. Cheers.
Steffi Mag.
Steffi Mag. Nick loves a bit of Steffi Mag. We'll definitely touch on the invitation later. That's in the tip-off. But yeah, I think there will be quite a few things to talk about with Steffi Mag. Nick's a big Steffi Mag guy.
For sure.
Takes on Moonee, though, another one of your babies.
Yeah, it'll be a good race, and we'll get into it in a little bit. Corey Thompson, again, comes through. Apologies for that, boys. Mark Zara, I apologise for absolutely nothing. You're terrible.
Christ.
Ted Word asks, what's a horse you'd bring back from retirement that would beat Via in the Cox Plate?
Winks.
Good. Well done, bro. Very elegant.
Yeah, Winks are very elegant.
MTTMLLN, I don't know how to say that. What do you think the chances of Gilded Water if it makes the Melbourne Cup?
Well, I already said, Gilda Water. I'm big on its chances. I think it's over $20 on Dabble. Maidan, I mentioned earlier, is still over $20 on Dabble if you would like to go and get on the futures. But like I said, please, I wouldn't be doing that until it is confirmed they're going to be in the field.
Darcy says, fangirl past the day. Sorry, Cashy, love ya.
I would say...
In big contested fields like that, I just don't think she can be starting at a favourite price.
I think she is getting towards the end of her best now that 2 years in a row, King Charles Failure is not even running a place. I will say that maybe she isn't the automatic bet that we've come to know and love when she gets to the mile with a dry deck. That's all I'll say.
Tommy Fletcher asks, Cashy and Nicko forgot to call in. Please mention Maidan for the Melbourne Cup before it's too late. $21 futures on Dabble.
There you go. I said it was over $20. It's $21. There you go.
Adrian asks, does Giga go back-to-back this week?
I didn't think Giga Kick was racing this week, is it? I didn't see it in any of the races. Am I blind?
I'm not too sure either.
No, Giga Kick's not entered this weekend.
Okay. Josh Barrett, do you think the Valley Renault is going to make it better or worse? Well, hopefully better. You didn't ever want to see them make it worse from a Renault. It's annoying that it's going to take a while, but...
It's annoying that like the whole tradition of that really tiny short straight and just the beauty of being able to run at that track and be a track specialist might be out of the window, but I mean, yeah, you'd hope that they make it better.
Hugh, lads, any chance you make it down to Melbourne for any big days this carnival?
We were hoping to be down there for the Cox, but unfortunately wasn't to be, potentially next year.
Not enough talk for Mr. Brightside's run. Wide barrier and Pride Jenny made it difficult early and still came second from Pat Strafford. 100%, mate. Jasper Langley, if Fair doesn't win this weekend, is she a fraud? I think she definitely goes on fraud watch if she loses because she started favourite at every single race.
Yeah, you know what? Fair call. If she loses, we'll put her on fraud watch. Yeah. That's fair. That is fair. You're right. She started favourite every start and she hasn't been winning. So yeah, we'll put her on fraud watch. I don't think she's a fraud, but she definitely goes on the watch.
J Mart, how much do you count for the barrier and is it more important at different distances? For sure, mate.
Yes.
Obviously the outside is always going to be harder. Good horses seem to get done sometimes, but...
Depends on the track. Depends on the... distance. So for instance, I'll give you an example. The 2,000 meter start for Randwick is really awkward because it's directly into a bend. So for the Spring Champion Stakes, anyone that's like drawn out wide, like within the law, will find difficulty finding its spot because not only does she have to find a spot, but she has to do that while turning, unlike other starts where you get a bit of a straight to figure out your spot.
And Hato said, "G'day lads, still can't believe I walked past you and didn't see you."
At the Everest. He was at the Everest and was trying to find us and he said, send us a photo of where he was, and I sent him a photo of where we were, and he's like, oh my God, I literally would have walked past you.
Oh, wow.
So,
who's a jockey that needs more love from Lucas? Mark Zara.
yeah, Mark Zara after that.
Bro needs some love.
Tommy Berry, probably. People
Yeah.
keep forget. I said at the start of the season, like, give some respect to Tommy Berry. People keep forgetting just how good that guy is.
Do you think New South Wales racing is becoming more popular and entertaining than Victoria? No. I don't think so. I think Melbourne
The
have got it better.
traditionalists are still out there. And
The only thing, Everest Day is it's probably the most popular day still, but nothing else, no other day on the Sydney calendar comes close to anything in Melbourne, I think.
Can't help but agree with you, my friend.
Cello Laguna, it may just turn into another snooze fest and sprint at the end. If so, Antino gaps them. Sorry, I've read this in the wrong order. Will the Cox Plate be another race? We are saying, what was that with no pace up front? Especially if Globe gets scratched, then who realistically leads? It may turn into another snooze fest and sprint at the end. If so, Antino gaps them.
It certainly could, and we're going to be talking about that all in detail for the Cox Plate Runner by Runner preview, sorting the Pretenders from Contenders. So please stick around if you are here for that. But other than that, we are going to press on with some Randwick tips. But if you're still watching, please give us a subscribe on YouTube. Give us a subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Give us a follow on Spotify. Rate us 5 stars. Like the video. like the podcast. You would be shocked at how much that actually does help us. We're very close now to getting to the 1,000 subscriber mark. Like I said, once we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, once we get to over 100 5-stars on Spotify, we're going to do a nice giveaway for you guys. We're not sure what that'll be, but we will figure it out. But yeah, there you go. So make sure you're giving us a like, share, and subscribe, and all of that jazz. Also, any of the tips that you hear, you can obviously copy them on the day on Dabble. Use the code MOCKSPORTS when signing up to let them know we sent you. Make sure to gamble responsibly and set a deposit limit when doing so.
And you would have got on a nice NBA couple of bets
NBA's
today.
back.
NBA's back, getting some punting done there. Living, loving, and betting.
100%. So we'll whip through these because it's a bit of a down day at Randwick as all the attention goes to Cox Plate Day. The weather is nice and fine. It's going to be very, very sunny. Track is currently a soft 5 again from the sprinklers. It'll dry out to good 4 by the race day. 7 metres the track rail is out to from the 1,600 metres to the winning post, and then out 5 metres for the remainder. So nice dry deck, wide rail. We could be seeing a leader's day as we move into race 1, the 1,000 metre Kirkham Plate for the 2-year-olds. The 2-year-old race here, mate, it's always incredibly tricky, especially because these horses that run in the Kirkham Plate rarely go on to do anything else. And the favourites often get rolled. So while the Coolmore favourite for the Waller Camp looks great on paper, their defenceman, the trial work's been great, looks like a bit of a tank. You'd hope so at $1.4 million was his price tag. But I'm going to try and bet around him, but I fully respect any of you if you're getting on him because he has looked like a very slick horse. But just a warning that I wouldn't be putting any golden slipper bets on here because can't remember the last time a horse did the Kirkham Plate slipper double, let alone ended up in the slipper field. I think a few of them usually end up in the field, but they don't really run very well. I'm going with Green Kirk. Looks a nice little horse here. Should push forward from the inside gate. Looks dangerous at the first barrier. Hopefully gets up to the front and then just kicks and kicks and kicks. $4.50 for the Blake Ryan camp. Gets a chance to step out of Dad's shadow when it comes to 2-year-old racing there. So yeah, Green Kirk for me in the first.
Mate, I'm with ya. Looked very, very promising in trials and fits the name, mate. Kirkham Plate, Green Kirk for the win.
True.
Race number 2, Tab Highway, 1,600 metres. It's going to be Krista for me. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Had a very, very solid prep, been there and thereabouts in the minor placings for the last couple runs and a win first up. $5.50 here. Looks to be a good chance in this one. Jason Collette on board as well.
Yeah, awkwardly drawn this horse, but you'd have to think that Right Your Own has really been building to a win after some really nice runs in the highway. I was on him, had a good run without winning. You were on him and had a good run without winning. I'm back on him now. Finally can win here at $9 to win $2.80 at place. Just has to overcome that sticky draw as we move to race 3, the Midway Open race. So I'm 2 playing it here. I'm going on the Monarch horse, Amaretto Bow, who has found some really nice form going around the provincial tracks. Currently at the price of 21 to win, $5 to place. Shout out to Richie Litt and the team over there for Monarch. Hopefully getting another win for the Monarch banner. But then I'm also having a small play on Mafia, mate, at $12 to win, $3.30 to place. I've got him black booked here, and this is how long this horse has been running around. My black book comment is trial form behind Osmosis. So read into that what you will. I know the form on paper doesn't really look that good. 2 runs at this distance for no placings, but he's really found form, especially last start at Musselbrook. Only just got beat by 0.5 lengths there. And now comes to a really, open midway. And like I said, it could be a leader's day. And this horse is drawn to do no work. Hopefully makes the most of the quick conditions. But yeah, Amaretto Bow and Mafia for me.
Taking Oakfield Jupiter, mate. It's drawn the absolute car park, but I still reckon can get it done. Definitely, I think the best suited horse for this race. For giving it for its last start at Scone. But before that was absolutely flying in some Class 1. So coming to the midway now, $6. Would have been a lot shorter if it drew a better barrier, but I still think can get it done, mate. We'll move to race number 4 at the 1,600 metres. Point and Shoot is your favourite here at $2.25. Best horse in the race by far, but has been really missing jumps lately. That's for sure. Going to be tough, but I think I'm going to just stick with him just for this one. This is the last one before I'm just hopping off. Ran home pretty nicely behind linebacker. Good form, $2.25, 1 week backup, point and shoot.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. Point and shoot just gets to the most winnable setup of the campaign here. Was on a bottomless deck and then had a heap of weight. Missed the jump with a heap of weight and then just was at an unsuitable distance behind linebacker. Now gets to jump back up to a more suitable mile, gets to lose even more weight down to 52 kilos. So yeah, $2.20, draws fantastically, placed fantastically, 1 week back up, I'm all over him. One of my more confident plays of the day. We'll shout out Victoria Road though, my tip for the 2023 Cox Plate, and it's the first time we're going to see him since Cox Plate season in 2023. Had that start and did nothing and then came dead last in a Champions Mile. So, I mean, I'd love to see him win. It'd just be very interesting to see how he goes. I'm happy to see him go around without my money, especially at 61 kilos. Yeah. As we move to the fifth mate here, the Brian Crowley Stakes. Open race, Burma Star's a nice horse with good form, as is Grand Eagle with the Mahuna form. However, I've sided with Sky Glider here. He's the unknown horse of this field. Off his trial work, he looks to be a really strong professional colt that is absolutely humming, mate. We go back to his only run of his career. It was a win over the horse called 60s. If you remember that horse, that's a horse that was able to beat Autumn Boy first up this campaign. And, you know, that seems like good form. Autumn Boy went on to win the Caulfield Guineas. Draws a good gate here, can be up on pace, good price. $7 to win, $2.20, Sky Glider for me.
I'm taking Grand Eagle, mate. Form behind Mahuna, $5.50 is good enough for me. Mahuna form is good enough. It's a pretty contested race, this one, though. We'll move to race number 6, 1,800 metres. Do I need to say much more? Lindemann probably wins this race. And there's probably, is there a no third dividend? Yeah, so there's no even point tipping anyone else. Lindemann. Yeah,
it was Sir Delius's race to lose until it scratched, and now it's Lindemann's race to lose, for sure. I mean, there'll be a lot of angry punters if it loses, that's all I'll say. 1,600 metre Calendar Presnell. Rivellino draws the inside, should push right to the front with Ruination pushing up on the outside of it. Farnsicle and Hope. Not Farnsicle, Farnicle. And Hope to be pushing up from the back and probably be the quickest ones home. Hope won for you last start, beating Farnicle, which was my tip for that race. But I'm jumping off it now. I'm on Rivellino. It is the form horse of this race, coming out of a Golden Rose, coming out of a Caulfield Guineas. On paper, should be winning and winning well. If you can't win here, you'd have to think he won't be winning any black type racing anytime soon. $2.90, Rivellino.
Yeah, I'm going with a Hope here. Great form this prep. $5.50, drawn the inside as well. I'm on a lot of Jason Collette horses today. But yeah, pretty happy with this one. We'll skip the next one.
Yeah,
next
we
8
skip
and 9,
8 and
and we'll
9
go straight to the last,
10.
mate. So the 5 diamonds at the 1,500, mate. Look, tough race for sure. I'm going to settle with a bit of a roughie here in NCAP. It's definitely a lot easier of a field than he's faced in the past in this prep. Hasn't been too far behind them as well. So I think at $23 and $4.30, it's a good each way bet. Dropping class is going to be enough for me. Get it done, NCAP.
Yeah, Transatlantic's your favourite, the Toorak handicap winner. Rogue to see him come into a race like this. But I mean, to be fair, sending it to a 5 diamonds doesn't make, no sense. So coming here to get in the prelude and get its chances up for a 5 diamonds and get accustomed to the Sydney way of going about things. I'm sticking with Rise at Dawn though. I'll be tipping it here or in Melbourne, wherever it runs. It's double nominated. I just think that it is one of those really consistent horses that you know what you're going to get. It just got beat by Waterford last start on a day where you would have thought Rise at Dawn was going to piss in when Gringotts came out, but then Waterford just decided to turn back the clock like it was 2023 again and beat it by over 2 lengths. Now that Rise at Dawn can, get to more of a third up, gets closer to being able to peak. I know that its third up and fourth up record isn't great, but I just think that it is better than most of these horses. I'm only really worried about a Transatlantic, as it does have to turn the tables on it from its second up start. But yeah, Rise at Dawn for me to finish us off at Randwick.
Nice, mate. We'll head straight into the tip-off. Randwick race 8. Champion Stakes, 2,000 meters. Great race, this one. Shangri-La Boy is your favorite at $3.30, who we were both on last start. I must say, one that I will mention, and I know you wanted to mention it as well, we did include it in the quaddie. It is Federalist at $21. I do respect a bet on it each way. However, I'm going to be with the favorite, Shangri-La Boy. Should get it done, in my opinion. $3.30 is a bet I can have and will be one of my better plays for the weekend.
I'm with him as well. There was nothing last start to suggest that he won't keep going on to the 2,000 metres. Like I said, could be a leader's day, and he's going to be the leader. Drawn absolutely perfect to just get to the front, hopefully get a couple of quick sectionals on him, and honestly, could just put him away because this 3-year-old crop doesn't look to be that much good. Shout out to Within the Law, I mentioned you earlier, drawing the car park again. Keeps on running, keeps on drawing double-decker barriers. I think that rules it out, but we've put it in the quaddie just in case it comes out and shocks the world. $4.80 is unders. If you want to be getting it on the nose, I would be just keeping that in your exotic plays rather than getting on the nose at $4.80. Champagne Hero, also a solid chance. Federalist, like you said, I'm really keen on its roughy chances. Probably my roughie of the day. But yeah, Shangri-La Boy should just hopefully lead, kick, win. As we move to the invitation, mate, take us through the field, mate.
Mr. Mbini is your favourite. Manal's in there. Steffi Mag's in there. Gangster Granny. You've got Mon Supreme, Gerringong if you want to go a bit rougher, and then there's some absolute roughies in there as well. Look, this is a tough race. There's a couple that I really, really thought about. Steffi, Manal, Gangster Granny in particular. Steffi, I'm ruling out just because the other two, I think, have looked better this prep. I'm going with Gangster Granny here. I think unlucky when she lost to Manal. Yep. Unlucky. She ran literally, it was a terrible run, and she bounced back really well and got a nice win last start. I think $6 is a good price. Manal, I love her, and I'm going to be kicking myself if she wins. But overall, Gangster Granny, I reckon, will be the one for me to get it done.
Fair enough, mate. Very
good form behind
enough.
all of them. I just can't go past it.
Yeah, look, Miss Rumbini, fair enough to be your favourite after she's been pipped by two good horses, a Magic Time that went to an Everest, and then obviously was almost a Group 1 winner there in the Rupert Clark. I mean, like you said, Manal, I just cannot possibly not be on her and then have her go and win like it was first up. I couldn't believe that neither of us were on her that day. Got up, made us look silly, going for 3 on the bounce. I mean, there's no reason why she can't. She's the map horse of the race, in my opinion. 5th barrier, she can do whatever she wants. She should mosey on up just off the pace there and hopefully get a gap late and show her strength. It's really nice to see a horse like this that we get on early actually following through with its career. So many times we find those 2-year-olds and they just end up either doing nothing or they end up going to retire. It's really nice that we picked her as a 2-year-old. We were on her from her very first start at 40s. She got up. We were telling everyone and their dog to get on her in the late Group 1s and got up.
We?
Did I say we got her at 40s?
Yeah.
Sorry, you got her at 40s. And then we...
There's not many that I have that do
Yeah,
that.
we told everyone to get on her for those late Group 1s, and she saluted for us and then has still continued to be a really, really good horse. Probably up there. She's getting close to being one of the top mock horses of all time, I would have to say. But yeah, I'm just going to have to be on her. I can't miss her.
Fair enough, mate. Look, we'll go...
Should we do around the grounds?
We'll go around the grounds.
Yeah. The other races on Cox Plate Day that we like other than the Cox Plate.
There's not much the night before. Gilded Water will run, I think.
Yeah, I've got Gilded Water in the Gold Cup, and then I've also got someone else. For some reason, I've got the race and the price, but not the horse. If I quickly just look at it again, I'll remember who it is. Apulia! I've got Apulia in the 6th in the Gold Star, and then Gilded Water in the 7th. I like that multi as well. I might put that on Dabble. Code Mock Sports. Set a deposit limit when getting on.
Moonee Valley, race number 6. She's a hustler for me on Saturday. Race number 7. Race number 8. Charmstone, the favourite, and then race number 9, options number 3 for me. That's my around the grounds for Moonee Valley on Saturday. If you like it, have a go.
Yeah, I've got Tonkin in the first on Saturday, Enviable in the 4th, Future History in the 5th, Rise at Dawn in the 7th if it runs there, Charmstone, like you said, in the 8th, and then I've got Observer in the 9th. I'm pretty keen on Observer's chances. Was maybe headed to the Cox Plate, decided to go to this race easier instead. Was enormous in the Caulfield Guineas, and you just have to think bounce out of that and puts in a great performance there. But I mean, they've waited 50 minutes, mate. It's now finally here. Cox Plate time. The contenders, the pretenders. We tell you who can win and why, who can't win and why, runner by runner. Okay, just like all of these races, I'm going to take you through a couple of quick statistics. 11 of the last 24 winners were the race favourite. 62 of the past 84 winners have been from inside Barrier 7. Only one winner in the last 14 has finished outside the placings in their final lead-up run. 7 of the last 14 winners have been 4 years old. So if you're an Aliana backer, you're going to love to hear that, or a Treasure of the Moment backer. And then 16 of the last 27 winners have been male horses. But we know in recent times, with the Via Sustinas and the Winkses of the world running around, it is no longer just a male horses game. That is for sure. Okay. Should we go through the field first or the speed, mate?
We'll go through the field first.
Take us through, mate.
All right, straight away, you've got Light Infantryman, you've got Antino, you've got Attrition, you've got Buckaroo, Globe, Via Sustina, Treasure at the Moment, Eliana, and Nepotism. Graphics, well done, mate. Looks good. Face value, when you look at this, barriers, who do you think is drawn unlucky? Anything that you really see?
Look, I think that from those barrier, Aliana is unlucky because, as we'll touch on in the speed map in a second, we'll have to go all the way to the back, you'd think. Via Sustina, prime draw for Via Sustina, you'd have to think. Can do whatever she wants from that barrier, and it should be pushing up and just sitting off the pace, kind of like her run last year, you would have to think.
Yeah. While we're still on this, and we'll have a chat about it in the speed map. So,
what about the field, though? What do you think of the field in general? Do you think a lot of people have been debating, is it a good field? Is it a bad field? What do you think?
It's probably 1 or 2 horses being pretty good. I think the bottom half is pretty bad, which you could imagine. Some horses there that probably aren't in the best of form, so Delius in there probably helps as well. But yeah, probably missing just a little bit.
I think the main issue is that these horses haven't been winning in the lead-up. If Treasure of the Moment, Via Sustina, and Aliana, the 3 big girls headed into this sort of time period that everyone was hyped for, had been coming out and winning every start like they were expected to do, there'd be much more hype around this race. Now everyone's like, oh, it's such a shit field. Like, oh, Sir Delius would have pissed in. Like, let's not forget, Via Sustina won this race by how much last year? Broke the track record? Like, it was nuts. Like,
it's one of Cashy's favourites, guys. Don't get him started.
But I mean, like, Via Sustina is still a good enough favourite as there's ever been in a race like this. Treasure, if she bounces out of it, is still one of the best horses in the country. Aliana, I know, hasn't come up much this prep. On paper, is still one of the best horses in the country. Antino's starting to become one of the best horses in the country. I mean, yes, it's lacking a Sir Delius. Yes, it's lacking, some people really wanted Autumn Glow to go, but that was just never happening according to a Chris Waller. So maybe he is lacking 1 or 2 horses that are actually in form. But on paper, I think this is still a really good field.
Fair enough. All right, mate. I'm going to take us through the speed map, mate. You can talk us through it.
Yeah, so we've got Light Infantryman and Globe as your likely leaders there. Globe is under a bit of a injury cloud, though. Potentially going to scratch.
It's all right.
It's okay. Potentially going to scratch Globe there, but the trainers have come out and said that he is all okay and should pass that vet check. Treasure of the Moment, Via Sustina should sit just behind them. Attrition and Buckaroo should sit just behind them. And then your back markers should probably be your Nepotism in case the Hawks camp wants to send him forward instead. And then Antino and Aliana are going to be making their runs from the back. You'd think that Antino will be the first horse to make that run and say, okay, game time. And then all of the other horses will know that's the time to really lock in and start going, going for broke around the corner there. So shall we go through the field runner by runner now?
Yep.
Take us through light infantryman, mate.
Light
Kiermaier.
Infantryman, first one for me. Look, Pretender, not going to win in my eyes. Can run in the exotics at the best chance. Just hasn't looked where it needed to be. One of the bottom half in this field for sure.
Had a surprisingly really great autumn, but just has not come back at all this spring. Needs to jump well to be able to get up on that speed position that he's predicted to have. Otherwise, it's game over. Simply not going well enough to be considered a winning chance. He is $46 for a reason.
We'll move straight into the next one,
Number
mate.
2, mate, Antino.
Antino. So, look, definitely a contender. I must say, sorry, I didn't say this before. If this race turns out how the last couple of runs for Vita Sustainers turned out, for the last couple of runs that Treasure at the moment has had, where there's no pace in the race and it becomes a sprint at the end, obviously you're going to see Antino has that turn of foot that can probably get it done. Globe can go out and win again like did last start. I hope it's not that kind of race, because those have been shit races to watch.
100%. I hate a sit-in sprint.
So we need to, hopefully something needs to happen and someone needs to get up there and lead the way and get some speed into the race. Because, that was annoying.
If it's a sit-in sprint, it's Antino's to lose. It'd be very much like that. I feel like it was the 2-rack that it won when Blake was like, all right, we're not going to run here. Okay, I'll run, and then just smash them.
Yeah, went around all of them. It was a great run that day.
That is the big danger. I didn't have this horse like much of a chance going this spring. I didn't think it was going to be a big weight for age star. A few months ago, I even put up a post saying he had no hope of placing in a race like this, and now I have him as a genuine winning chance at $4.
For sure.
Turnbull form produced the Caulfield Cup winner, half yours. Arguably, he had the best run in that race behind Sir Delius. Shin, like I said, will likely be the first one to press the button and say, let's go. So he could definitely steal it from them, especially if no one's going that hard up front. Do I have him on top? No, I don't. But can he win? Absolutely.
Fair enough. All right, we'll move to our next one, mate. Attrition.
Yes, $35 to win, $6.25 to place. Craig Williams jumps on board after the Delius scratching. What are your thoughts?
Look, ran home really nicely behind Lindemann last start, and I had a nice cheeky Quinella on.
You did.
Probably not the worst chance, honestly, and is always thereabouts and is running pretty well at the moment. I think one that you can definitely keep in your exotics. Don't think he can win.
Yeah, basically the same. Because, you can make a case for him technically since he likes the track. Hasn't had the worst form by any means, like behind the Lindemans, behind some other really good horses. But I just think he gets outclassed here for a win. Running the fan was really nice, but the race was already over before he got going. And then the run behind Lindemann did have merit. Chuck him in your first fours. He could come home and run a fourth, but can you really picture him beating the likes of Via Sistina and the others? No. So, definitely chuck him in your first fours, but I don't think he'll be winning.
Buckaroo. Look, I'm going to go straight off and say Pretender. 9 runs at the distance, no wins, and 5 in the minor placings. 2 in the second place, 3 in the third place. I don't see him winning. Place at best. Another horse that I just don't think is gonna go well in this race. Mark Zara, not very popular in the mock sports at the moment. But Pretender for me.
$16 to win, $3.30 to place. He's a consistent horse, I'll give him that. And as such, a placing here wouldn't shock me. Can't see him winning. His form with Sir Delius is a great look here on paper, considering he almost beat him. But then that second up run in the Might and Power Stakes was just so poor. Didn't pick up at all. Got out-tacticked. And honestly, even without pace, he should have been going much closer to the finish there and going past Globe, even with the whole tactical speed fast that happened in that race. He should not have been beaten that convincingly by Globe. You'd have to think he could just run a really nice Melbourne Cup trial here without threatening to win too much. Again, chuck him in your first fours. That's probably his best ceiling here. As we move to number 5, Globe. Like I said, injury cloud for the Price and Kent team, but they assure us that he'll pass that test with flying colours. out of barrier 7. $15 to win, $3.10 to place.
Contender, I think.
Really?
Yeah, if he can get it exact same run, if they're going to let him sit and control it, he can win. So saw it the other week, and he can do it again. He's going to be one of my better roughy chances for sure.
Yeah, wow. I've got him as a pretender. I mean, he has the racing pattern to be in the finish, up on pace. He can fall into the placings. Happened to many a horse in a race like this. I will die on that hill. Come at me, TikTok. Mr. Brightside fell into those placings the year that he placed behind Romantic Warrior. Don't at me, okay?
Oh.
Got up on pace and fell into the placing. So it can happen. But, I mean, he can certainly look dangerous for a long way, but I would be shocked to see him win. I do think he fades going around that bend.
Fair enough. VR Sustina, mates.
Yes, here we go. Chris Waller, J-Mac, barrier 5, weight 57 kilos, $2.25 to win. Contender or pretender? The firm favourite for this race now that there's no Sir Delius.
Contender. Anyone that doesn't say is kidding themselves. At her best, she wins. Hasn't been at her best this prep, which is, I guess, the big thing for a lot of people. Has that heavy run first up really taken some stuff out of her? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Do they let her run 5 laps before today or tomorrow?
That was pretty funny. Like when she went around at Breakfast with the Best, like everyone, when she got off, everyone was like, now let me see her go around without a jockey for a few laps now. Like, when's that part of the morning coming?
But yeah, can get it done. Should get it done. Let's wait and see.
Do you reckon, like, away from the cameras, Waller's just gone like, yeah, just jump off and just let her run. Like, let's do what we did last year.
Probably not. Surely not.
No, definitely not. Has she been at her best this spring? Far from it. But sometimes winners win. We like to say it on the pod here. And the big-time players stand up on the big stage. J-Mac is a big-time player. Waller is a big-time player. And Versicina is a big-time player. Sometimes when you just get to grand final day, the winners know how to win. If any of them overdo it in front, she will be the one that is swooping with the most pace. Only missed the placings twice at this distance. Only missed the placings once at Group 1 level. Arguably does her best work when 4th up, ready to peak on grand final day. A better tempo is all she needs. She gets it, she wins. She doesn't, she's in trouble. Plain and simple.
Awesome. We'll move to Treasure the Moment.
The other Yulong horse, mate, at a barrier 1.
Contender for me. She's been unlucky. I think she hasn't been at her best either. She's got a nice price on her now that is gettable for sure. I think she can win. I think the 2 that she's lost, she's been taken out of the race by the pace of the race, and I just don't think it's going to go in that direction for Cox Plate Day. They're not going to let it happen. It's the biggest race on the calendar year for sure. So they're going to all be running with their heads switched on, all the jockeys, and she's going to be there. So $6, definitely a contender.
Cashy Hate Watch is going to go into overdrive here. I'm going with Pretender.
Wow.
Never missed the Quinella in her 14 starts, which is unreal form. I'll give her that. Looked a world beater first up in the Memsey when she came out and pulled their pants down and looked like she was going to be a top Cox Plate chance. But then Colic came to town. Hasn't been the same since, really, in my opinion. Fair and Run was all right first up after the attack. And then her Might and Power run was, again, like Buckaroo, really disappointing, even with the lack of pace. Should have been finishing much closer to a Globe, if not going right past him. Loomed to win and then just did nothing. If she can be at her best, she can be a really strong winning chance. But quite frankly, her form this spring hints that she isn't. So I'm saying place chance only. And in the words of the Mock Sports, like some people just don't really understand our language here. If we think she's a place chance only, not a winning chance, she is a pretender in my mind.
Eliana, mate, we'll move to the next one.
Yeah, Huey Bowman flies in to ride for the Waller stable here. Barrier 8, $9 to win, $2.25. Chris Waller was saying at Breakfast with the Best, he goes, hey now, like, Huey Bowman knows how to ride my horses in Cox Plates, Winks. And he goes, she's no Winks, but she's not far off it, which is a pretty big call. Contender or pretender for Eliana?
Contender. Give her a merit. Another one that hasn't been at her best. To say that rinse and repeat at the moment. But, yeah, she's a good horse, and I think she can get it done. So she's definitely a chance in my eyes.
Yes, star of the autumn, but just hasn't lived up to the hype on paper. But in reality, she's had excuses every single start. Wet track, no pace, etc., etc. The list of excuses go on. She's just been a bit underdone. in my opinion. Probably because of that wet track took a bit out of her, and then the no pace in those races has left her with half of a run instead of a full run. She gets the opportunity to peak here, just like Vestina. Fourth up, grand final day for a grand final trainer. History says she can't win from that barrier, but history is meant to be broken. Reminds me a lot of Very Elegant, who arguably could have won the 2021 Cox Plate, in my opinion, if she didn't swing too wide on the turn. I think it's a really similar situation here. If Bowman can get her tucked in away at the back there and keep in touch with them, don't let them get too much of a lead on her, and then when she goes around that turn and is able to balance up and run straight, there is no reason she can't run them down. Contender for mine.
Last one, nepotism.
The 3-year-old of the field, 49.5 kilos on that back, mate.
Yeah, I'm going Pretender. I can't go everyone Contender, unfortunately. I think the weight definitely helps, but I just don't think he gets it done. He's not the best 3-year-old running around at the moment, and there's better chances that I would have thought should have probably come instead. I think Waterton would have run better than Nepotism would have as well. Do you think?
Now that you mention him, I've got in my notes, he's kind of like Woderton, one of those horses that just has not lived up to the hype, yet punters continue to line up to back him constantly.
Yeah, so Pretender for me, but not the worst if you really like your weight punting, which we have in the past.
Yeah, he gets his feathers on the back like all 3-year-olds do in this race, but this horse hasn't done anything really to suggest he's a Cox Plate contender other than rattling off some nice sectionals in the Guineas, but never really threatened in the finish because you can say that he ran up the backside of a couple of horses, but still, just nothing else this prep has really screamed, hey, I'm going to run really good in a Cox Plate. Like, let's just, again, go through his results quickly here. First up, he comes 9th, 5.5 lengths off Attempted. He then comes 10 lengths off a Bayvuct in the Golden Rose, and then finishes 4.4 lengths off an Autumn Boy in a Caulfield Guineas. Observer would be a red-hot chance in this race, in my opinion, off of that run in the Guineas, which is why I'm very confident on its chances in the race before this, in the Vase. I'm happy to be wrong. Maybe runs a place, but I would be shocked to see him win. I'd be marking him closer to $50. Happy to admit that I got it wrong if I get it wrong, but I see no reason why this horse should ever be considered to be a Cox Plate winning threat off of what he's shown us this prep. Maybe his 2-year-old stuff in the autumn, but this prep, he has not looked like he should be threatening in a Cox Plate.
Yeah, like I said, there's better 3-year-olds running around, so this is what it is. First 4 over the line, mate, and your tip.
My first 4 over the lines, Vestina, Aliana to run a flashing second, Antino to run third, and then Buckaroo to run fourth as that little tick over trial for the Melbourne Cup. And
awesome.
And on top is Vestina. I just think that winners win.
Treasure at the moment for me on top. I've got Antino coming in second. I've got Via coming in third. I've got Attrition running fourth.
I don't mind that. I honestly do not mind that at all.
Box them up.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going for.
Box that, especially with a box. If like an Attrition manages to sneak a third place there, it'll send the value shooting through the roof there.
Sure.
Another nice thing to just quickly touch on before we move on, last race ever to be run at this track before the alterations, which I think is very appropriate that they've moved it to the last of the day. And then they're letting the people go on the track afterwards, take their photos, grab a clump of grass if they want.
You would so do that.
Oh, I'd be so over that. I'd be all over that,
You'd
man.
be eating the grass.
I'd be all over that. I'd be trying to tear down the Moonee Valley winning post and sign and try and take that home. Yeah, I'm sad that I'm not there like we were maybe going to be. Anyone that's going out there on the weekend, please enjoy it. It's a history-making run. It's Flemington next year, and then the year after that we come to a completely different track. It's going to be a completely different race. So hopefully it goes out with a bang. I really don't want a boring sit and sprint in this Cox Plate.
For sure, mate. All right, best bet of the day. I'm going to go first today. Shangri-La Boy, $3.30, race 8. Good odds, I think. Wins pretty nicely. We're both on it as well, which is always a good sign. And my roughie of the week, NCAP, $23.
Yeah, my best bet of the day, like I said earlier, is Observer in the 9th at the Moonee Valley at $2 even money. It's short, but deserves to be off. That run in the Guineas looked absolutely enormous. Like I said, could have been a live chance in a Cox Plate, genuinely. I think it could have run a place in a Cox Plate if it went there, but comes here to an easy race. Best roughie, I alluded to it earlier, Federalist in the Spring Champion Stakes. And for our quaddies at Randwick, I will say quickly that because of the double nomination with Rise at Dawn, one of these is going to change. Make sure to head to Dabble, use code MOXSports when signing up, set a deposit limit when doing so. The updated ones will be on there. Randwick, race 7, we've got Rivellino, Oh Hope, Farnacle, Ruination, 1, 2, 3, 4 are your numbers. Race 8, we got Attica, Shangri-La, Federalist, Within the Law, 1, 2, 6, 11. Race 9, Steffi Magnetica, Manal, Miss Rumbini, and Monty Supreme, 1, 2, 3, 7.
My horse isn't even in that. Granny Gangster Granny.
Gangster Granny. Sorry, got that wrong. That is meant to say Gangster Granny.
Instead of Monty
Supreme. So those numbers becomes 1, 2, 3, 5. Mistake. Sorry. And then in the final one, we got Transatlantic, NCAP, General Salute, and Rise at Dawn. That makes it 1, 3, 5, 8. $50 gets you 19.5%. Take us through the Valley one, mate.
At the Valley, you got Desert Lightning, Rise at Dawn, Golden Path, and O2 Good. That's 3, 4, 5, 8. Race 8, you got Tropicus, Charm, Storm, Neons, and Vestas. That's 3, 5, 7, 9. Race 9, you got Observer and Options. That's 1 and 3. And race 10, you got VR, Antino, Eliana, and Treasure. That's 2, 6, 7, 8. $50 gets you 40%, just under 39. And yeah, thank you guys for listening as always. Love your work. Cox Plate, pod, all done. A couple more good ones to come.
Yes.
Golden Eagle next week.
Big weekend next weekend. Obviously, next Wednesday, tune in live for our Golden Eagle Derby Day preview. Next Sunday, tune in live for our Melbourne Cup preview. Big couple of weeks for racing. Big couple of weeks for the Mox Sports. Be sure to be here. We love you guys tuning in each and every week. Just keep on coming back and we'll keep being here.
Thanks, lads. We'll see you next time.
And back behind those horses, I Am Unstoppable. Osmosis at the clock tower, led by a length to Shinzo, Arkansas Kid, and I Am Unstoppable is running on. The leader, Osmosis, with 50 metres to go.